Welcome to HAART Felt Conversations, a podcast where we have discussions around human trafficking, how you can safeguard yourself, how we end up supporting survivors here at HAART Kenya, and many more. We have a lot in store for you. And today we will just be delving about what HAART Felt Conversation is. My name is Njeri Ragoi from HAART Kenya, and I am here with my co-host, who I will welcome her.
Thank you, Njeri. So my name is Winnie Mutevu, also working with HAART Kenya, and definitely looking forward to being able to have conversations with all of you, getting to for sure delve more into different conversations, looking at the trends, climate change, human trafficking, gender-based violence, all these things. How do they link with our societies? How does it impact us? And so as we delve into this, we're able to have many visitors being able to join us, having guests from the government, from communities, survivors, the case workers, everyone who is really gets to be a player in this sector. Looking forward to be able to have conversations with them and looking into understanding much better on what trafficking is.
Great. Winnie, you have already preempted what we're going to discuss, but before we dive into that, we want to know a bit about who we are. So I'll start with you, like who is Winnie and what do you do? Just tell us a bit, whatever you want to touch.
Yeah. Well, Winnie is, I would say, Winnie identifies as a human rights defender. So generally, I'm keen in being able to see people being able to actually appreciate and being able to enjoy their rights as human beings. And so in everything that I do, I'm just looking into what can be done, what is my role, what can I be able to contribute to, and looking into that we do as an organization. I think in the last 10 years plus, being able to journey with different community members, with students, with first responders. And I think up to where I am right now, every day when I'm able to see the impact on each individual really drives me to be able to actually to do more, looking into what more can be done, how do we scale this up. And every day being able to work with an awesome team gives you joy and fulfills you. And I'm able to go home to sleep, such as the world is not so beautiful, we have so many challenges, I can still go home knowing that we're able to do something each and every day to contribute to someone's life being better, than being able to have a more dignified life. And yeah, and we are here. So who's Njeri?
I'm like, let me run to chat GPT and be like, hey, let me look for this answer, because when you started I was like, wow. Anyway, but yeah, my name is Njeri, as you have already heard, and I am passionate about telling stories wherever I am. And one of the ways is here at HAART, I'm able to tell the work that we do through impactful storytelling, and I enjoy it. Of course, the stories are very heartbreaking, and they're very, like very hardcore stories, but we are able to share to the world the work that we do, how we support survivors, how we create awareness, and I really enjoy doing that. So that's basically, in a nutshell. I can also be a human rights defender.
Yes, we saw you in the streets.
One day, yeah?
One day. I think not too long ago, was it a week ago? Was it?
No, okay, well, I think you're talking about the Femicide March. Yeah, definitely I had to be there. For the rights of every human being, we have to amplify our voices. Yeah, but anyway, as we are talking about what we are doing and all that, why HAART Felt Conversations? Why that name?
I think, well, the name is linked to who HAART is, as I think already goes by HAART Kenya, again, HAART Felt Conversations, but then really being able to look into how do we break down this complex issue about human trafficking, being able to understand really what this issue is, and being able to have different speakers, different experts in the field, and really also just looking at the community members, being able to break down what they understand this issue to be, and how we are able to address it, where do we get help, and what can be done to look into having a society free from trafficking in persons, really building into what our vision is as an organization. And so our hope is that by the time we are done with these conversations, anyone who gets to join us, gets to understand more, gets to actually get to step in and look into what can I do, how can I be able to actually intensify that I'm doing currently, or how do I just play my role in this society to end trafficking in persons. So yeah, really looking into having everyone being able to see where is my position, what role do I play, and what more can be done from where I am.
Yeah, so the ball is in your court.
Everyone is a part of it, because you are either fueling this to continue happening directly or indirectly, or you are a victim of the crime, or you are directly or indirectly affected by the issue. So all of us were affected. Just depends on the question of how are we impacted and what can we be able to do from where we are. So maybe just a question for you, Njeri. Given you're in the communications field and now we have this podcast, is just looking into, for those who are joining us, what do we wish they would be able to do for us to be able to have these conversations on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, I think one of the important things is to amplify this, because many people do not know about human trafficking, or if they know, they are not very clear on what it entails. And so there are misconceptions, there's different understanding. There was a time I was even in a radio station and they were asking me, so what's the difference between trafficking in persons and human trafficking? And you see, I feel like the podcast will be an avenue to answer those questions. It doesn't mean that this is like a lecture hall where you're coming to learn and get your PhD in human trafficking. Well, that would be great, but we'll also have stories where survivors get to share their experiences. And so the role is to help us in amplifying this voice that we are what we are talking about. They can do so by sharing on our sharing our YouTube channel, sharing our social media platforms, so that more and more people may be aware on what human trafficking entails and how their role in curbing this this vice it's a menace. But people don't know that it's a menace.
True. And maybe just for you, the other question would be, we are talking about HAART Felt Conversations, which is being held or managed by the HAART team. What does HAART do? Who is this HAART? What is HAART? Do? Where do they exist?
Yeah, I mean, like every time when we go for external meetings, guys will always be like, HAART ni nini, or what is HAART? Is it your okay, ni moyo? Is it like the heart that you used to pump the blood? But basically, HAART actually stands for Awareness Against Human Trafficking. It's not an acronym. We coined it so that it has more oomph and vibe, and when you hear HAART, you'll be like, yes. So Awareness Against Human Trafficking is an organization, an NGO that fights human trafficking here in Kenya. It's actually Kenyan-based, and we have been in existence now for 14 years, because it was founded in 2010. But you know what, I don't want to preempt too much about all this, because we'll be having our founder and CEO coming and other colleagues talking about it. But in a nutshell, what we do is we operate with the UN 4Ps, that's prevention, protection, partnerships, and policy, and also prosecution. So I don't want, I want guys to come back and be like, prevention in nini? What is prevention? What is protection? And all that, but we'll be able to delve into these areas. But in a nutshell, prevention is just creating awareness to the community. And as a grassroots organization, we go to the field in the grassroots areas all over Kenya. We also support survivors of human trafficking under the protection department. We have 2 areas where we have a shelter that's like a safe home for victims of trafficking, not a children's home, and not a home for adults, but a safe house, and also where we support victims of trafficking. And then for partnerships, we work with different stakeholders, government, CSOs, UN bodies, etc., where we are able to unite together to fight this vice. And for prosecution, as an organization, since we are not the police, we are not the judges, we collaborate with those bodies so that then we can prosecute traffickers, and they can be prosecuted, not us, but they can be, we help in that facilitation. So that's basically who HAART is in a nutshell. So maybe for me, as we start winding up, I wanted to ask, how did you find yourself in HAART? Ama you were just walking, then you bumped in, and if you can remember. Just to get to know how you came to HAART.
It's a long story. To make it short, HAART with another US-based organization, I think it was called Junanima. Actually, it was called Junanima International. So they were looking at being able to more or less empower young people, for them to know what is human trafficking, what are the push and the pull factors, looking at the demand aspect of it. And the goal was, once they train the young people, then they get to train other young people on the same issue. And they did this through the youth in a Catholic church where I used to fellowship back then. This was back in 2011.
Wow, wow.
It's a while back.
Some Gen Z somewhere is like,
I was born in 2011. What do you mean you're already working with HAART? So that was back in 2011, and I joined. Well, there was a call out for months. I never applied for it, and then I think they had the first training. Then a friend of mine told me, someone is not coming next week. How about you come and join? And then I went, walked in. I was very clear. Hey guys, I'm visiting my sister. That's my priority. I'm not staying here. But then I walked into that room. Then I think they showed several videos about sex trafficking and how it impacts women, how it happens, how the women are recruited. And I never left the room. That is how I walked in.
And that's here you are.
Here.
Wow.
12 years in more.
Amazing.
So that's how I started working, majorly volunteering the first few years and being able now to work with the organizations up until now. Yes. Yeah.
I think I shouldn't even be answering that question.
No, you should. You don't want to know.
Mine is very simple. I just applied. But you see, anyway, after when I saw the call, I decided to check out the website, and I was like, first, to be honest, I'd never really heard about human trafficking. It never crossed my mind. So I really understand when people are like, what do you do again?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I think this is something that I can align myself with. And so I took a leap of faith and applied. No godfather. If people assume that in NGOs they're godfathers, there is opportunities for individuals to come and support different causes. And so it's been a great 2 years now.
Why did you stay?
Where did I stay?
After now learning what the issue is.
Yeah.
This is now your second. Actually, this is now you're getting into your third year. Why did you choose to stay?
I mean, as I said before, I'm passionate about telling stories, of different organizations, and I feel like the story behind the voices of survivors and also human trafficking is there, but in Kenya it's not as high as it should be. So my aim is to be able to amplify that voice, so we continue having a society free from trafficking.
Yes. And I think for anyone who has been to our social media pages on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, we are recent.
TikTok, let's just say, I'm just waiting. The Gen Zs are the ones who are helping me. Kuna venye, it's a struggle.
But everywhere you've seen our work being shared. She's the lady behind it. So we are very proud to have her as part of our team, and yes, she does a good job in being able to tell the stories.
Yeah, thank you. It's been also great to work with the team. The team doesn't over micromanage, so we are able to share the stories as they come. But even as we're talking about HAART Felt Conversations, what do we look forward to? What are some of the topics? And also, can people throw in suggestions and stuff like that?
Yes, please. We are happy to hear from you. What would you like to hear from us? What would you like to learn? What would you like, or whom would you like to see next to us on this couch? But I think for us is looking into being able to at least share survivor stories. You being able to know how does it happen? How do they even get into these situations? How do they get out of them? How are they doing even right now? So really being able to journey with survivors, looking at their journeys of healing, and also looking into what exists when it comes to policies. How is such a crime still existing in our societies? What is the government doing? And what can we be able to do as well? And who else is in this sector beyond HAART Kenya? Who else gets to support communities in this field within the country, outside the country? Our goal is to really make sure that whoever gets to join these conversations gets to have a holistic view on what is happening, who is a part of the conversation, and what we can all be able to do to end human trafficking.
Great. Yeah. So as we wrap up, anything else you want to share?
I think just welcoming everyone and asking you to be able to follow us. So subscribe, hit the notification button so that anytime we have our video up, you're able to actually know it's up. You're able to join us. And for sure, if you have a story to share, you want someone to be able to join us, let us know. Send an email to info@heartkenya.org, and we'll be keen to be able to respond and get back to you. If you're also reporting a case, feel free to report a case of human trafficking, and we can see how our team members can be able to step in. But But I think overall, just a lot of excitement looking forward to being able to have these conversations on this couch.
Well, it might not be this couch all the time, but in this space, where we have heart-to-heart conversations around human trafficking and the aspects that, influence this vice. So I'm looking forward to having fantastic guests, to have in-depth conversations. I'm looking forward to people learning more. And when people think of heartfelt conversations, they come out of there with from matters of the heart and also Heart Kenya, and to be able to be also our ambassadors in this fight against human trafficking, because we can't do it alone. If let's say you're in an estate or in an area where you see young girls who are domestic workers, right now as I'm saying this and it's your first time to hear this, you're like, what is she talking about? But there are very many aspects that human trafficking manifests itself. And so it will be just awesome for people to know how it manifests. Even me as a future employer, but even in how I manage my house, am I letting my worker work from Monday to Monday, no off, and whatever I promise to pay them, I'm paying lower wages? Something as simple as that. People just say, oh no, ni mfanyikazi, that's my house help, as we would say, or that's my nanny. But then what role do you have in your own home, in your community, and in the country at large? So it would be great to have ambassadors at all levels.
Oh yeah, thank you. I think that is I think also a good point for us to look at it, being able to actually reflect and look into also our behaviors, our interactions, what we do in our homes, in the societies, what is our contributing aspect. And definitely looking forward to hear that from our audience and from our speakers who will be able to join us. Yes.
So I hope that for you who is listening to us, you've gotten an overview of what we are hoping to bring to you. And as Winnie said, I'll just reiterate it again. Feel free to send us your comments or questions or topics you'd like addressed to info@heartkenya.org. Heart is HAART. And also follow us at Heart Kenya on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Thank you so much for being with us here at Heart Felt Conversations. Till the next time we meet, remember, we are aiming for a society free from trafficking.